The following is a presentation of 912 Sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, your #1 source for high school sports. With Sean Smoke and Kevin Price. On Air with 912 Sports is brought to you by Coastal Pines Technical College. Go Coastal. Prime South Bank. Find your prime. Robbie Robertson Ford, because Fords are cheaper in the swamp. Gibson Animal Clinic, practical solutions with limited fees. Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, the region's best orthopedic care. And Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with eXp Realty.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. We got a great show for you tonight. We're here in Darien, Georgia, McIntosh County Academy at a big OTA, and I believe there's 13 teams here, Kevin. A couple teams got doubled up here. They got an A and a B team, 8 teams against one another at one time on the fields over here, but a great day to get better for the fall.
Sure is. I mean, everybody's kind of nearing the end of their summer workouts. They get into so-called preseason camp next week with acclimation period. So this is kind of the last little test for them before they get on their own fields and then lead into scrimmages in the real season. So this comes at a great time for everybody to kind of see where they are, you know, going into preseason camp.
We got a chance to talk to some of our 912 coaches. We didn't talk to all of them that was here, but we talked to a few that we haven't talked to this point. So y'all stick around. We'll be right back after these messages.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
All right, we're here with Coach Warren. Coach, a pretty big deal you put together here in McIntosh County Academy. Third year of it, seems to get bigger and better. A lot of 912 area teams here getting in a lot of good work.
Man, it was just about all I could handle today. It looked like ants going everywhere with football helmets on.
Well, talk about just everybody kind of doing this week. It's right before the acclimation period where so-called real preseason camp begins. I know everybody's been doing stuff all summer, but talk about the position of this on the summer calendar. Seems to be pretty popular with everybody.
It is. I think it's a good time. Obviously we like the format. You're getting 45 minutes of contact. I think that's the big thing is to because of the date that we're doing it is everybody wants to see what they're doing before they go into the preseason.
And Coach, obviously, when you host this kind of deal, you got to kind of be, have some hospitality. You're about to get everybody in line at the concession stand and make sure that all goes in order. So there's more than coaching football. But as far as coaching your team, how do you feel about where the Bucks are going into acclimation next week?
I feel good about when we're all here. I've had a lot of kids on vacation at different times. We were short 2 offensive tackles today. One of my young men, he played about every snap. I'm excited about that. My booster club's probably not real excited because Coach Warren didn't count the hot dogs right for all the teams. So they've been cooking hot dogs since 8:30 this morning. They're on number 600 and something.
Well, Coach, I know it was one thing after another last year with injuries and so forth, and the bottom kind of fell out, but you salvaged your season, still made it to the playoffs. I guess 2024 really couldn't get here soon enough. But what kind of shape are you in going into
we feel good about it. Our attitude has been the big thing. The kids were hungry they wanted some of that 2022 region championship success, and we've had a great summer as far as attitude and effort. We had a little deal that emerged earlier in one of the scrimmages when it was intense against Effingham County, and that got addressed, and we came out and had a good scrimmage against Liberty. So I was really pleased with the Bucks. They're working hard.
Welcome, sports fans. We're here at the big OTA at MCA and talking with Coach Ryan Herron, head coach of the Pierce County Bears, the defending 2A state champions. Coach, talk a little bit about how you guys are using this OTA just days before acclimation.
Well, it's great for us. We didn't do spring training, so this is really, really good for us. This is the first time getting to see a lot of these guys play because we got a lot of guys who didn't play a snap last year that are getting a lot of good reps. So it's really good for us, important for us. We can kind of see what people took from last year, brought it with them. And then we got a lot of guys who just need reps that haven't got any reps. So this is good just to get our motor running.
Right. And, Coach, you guys got a lot of skilled guys coming back, but the trenches is where you guys have got to replace a lot of folks. Talk a little bit about some of those new faces we're going to see in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Well, in the offensive line, we got Colson Gambrell back. That's the only starter we got returning, so everybody else will be brand new. But we're expecting our tackles to hopefully be ready by game 1, which is Trent Kennedy and Jordan Williams. Guards, we got, of course, Colson's back, and then several guys playing at right guard right now. We've got Trent Pettis, Trent Griffin. We've got Kaydon Lashley. At center, we got Dylan Figueroa. Tight ends, we got Dixon Mars, Brandon Williams. So we got some able-bodied kids. We just got to get a lot of reps.
Right. And, Coach, you got a returning quarterback from last year, first guy in Georgia high school history to run for 2,000 yards and pass for 2,000 yards. Pretty much going to be the same offense. You looking to change things up, or what will we see from you guys offensively?
Well, I'd love for it to look exactly the same if we could win 15 games. But, it'll just be depending on how everybody gels together, what works. Everything that worked last year is not going to work this year, and there'll be some things that worked this year that probably didn't work last year. So we got to figure it out. It's just putting the pieces of the puzzle together.
Right. And Coach, let's talk about you guys got one scrimmage coming up in the spring. I mean, in the fall, or two?
Two.
Okay, so you'll be playing on the 2nd and the 9th.
Yeah.
Talk about both of those games and who y'all be playing.
We've got one of the Savannah schools, first scrimmage, second scrimmage. We got Glenn Academy. The first one's at home. The second one, we go to Glenn. And so that'll be real good work for us.
Right. Well, Coach, like I said, we're just weeks away from acclimation. How much difference is what you're doing today is when your acclimation period starts next week?
The only difference is we're getting to see other kids from other schools. I mean, we're going to practice just like this every day, but it's just good to see different people, see different looks, so that's really the only difference.
Right. Well, Coach, looking forward to you guys defending your state title. You guys keep getting better, and we'll catch up with you in the spring.
Thanks, Sean.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
All right, Coach, thanks for spending a few minutes with us today. Obviously, it's year 2 for you. I know maybe this time last year when we interviewed you here at McIntosh, you might have still been learning first names and last names. How much easier is it for you and the kids in year 2 kind of knowing the system?
Yeah, it's much easier for sure. Just the kids, I think, being comfortable with what we're doing. You know, every day that's not something new for them. They know what we're going to do. They know our process. They know how we're going to practice. They know, when we call a play, there's not having to think as much. They're just reacting and being able to play football. And so having a lot of our coaches back for year 2 has been big because they know the process, what I expect. And so that's been a big part. We're just a lot farther along than we were a year ago.
And y'all had some success a year ago. How much did some positive momentum maybe carry into this year? Did everybody kind of leave last year with a good vibe and excited about 2024?
Yeah, finishing the year, beating Jenkins at home to secure up the 3 seed in the playoff, then going on the road and winning a playoff game against Tucker. First time in 10 years, we've won a playoff game at Statesboro High. So I think that was big for our kids. They need success. It's been a long time. It's been 10 years since you've had postseason success. These kids don't remember 10 years ago. They were little, little kids running around just getting into elementary school, and so they don't remember that. And so having some success that they can remember, that they can taste, is important. And so we're excited about that for them, getting that taste of success. I think our guys have built off that, and they, when you have a little bit of success, you want a little bit more. It's like when you taste something good, you want more of it. And so our guys want more, and I think they're really pushing to try to achieve more.
And Coach, we're kind of really at the end of the summer part of preseason camp, if you will. Talk about where you are as a football team. Do you feel pretty good about where you are right now here in mid-July?
Yeah, I think every coach here would tell you they're not as far along as they want to be, or they could use more of this, more of that. But we're happy with where we've been. We've had a great summer. Our kids have bought in. They've shown up. They've gone to work. And so I can't ask any more out of our kids. They've given us the best versions of themselves that they can, and we're progressing, and that's all we can do. We know this is a process, getting this thing rebuilt, and last year was step 1, and we're in step 2. But our kids, they've done everything we've asked, and I've got zero complaints about that.
And Coach, this OTA is kind of like we just talked about at the end of the summer session, if you will. You got the acclimation next week where really it's mandatory if it ain't already mandatory. But is this kind of a good last final test before everybody really gets on their own field and gets into so-called preseason camp?
For me, it's good because you've been going against yourselves so much, and our guys get tired of going against ourselves and seeing ourselves and just see somebody else. It's fun for our kids. But yes, it's a great reading about where we're at. We get all this filmed, and we'll get to go back and over the next week and really break down this film and find out. Today we're trying to find out, can a couple of these guys help us? We got some guys we know from last year, they can help us. We got some other guys you're really trying to find out, and this is going to be their last test before we really get into action. Are they going to be a guy that can contribute on Friday night somewhere for us? So I'm excited to watch the film and see where we got better today.
All right, Coach, we'll keep up the good work, and we'll see you down the road.
Thank you guys for having me.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
Welcome, sports fans. We're over here at the big OTA at McIntosh County Academy, and we're talking with Coach Tony Glazer, head coach of the Liberty County Panthers. Coach, appreciate you joining the show today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah, Coach, you guys are over here at the OTA trying to get better for the fall. We're right around the corner from acclimation week, but talk a little bit how you guys use these camps.
Well, Coach Warren does a good job of putting this camp on every year. It's ran really good. It's just good to kind of come out and see some different schemes we've been practicing against our team all off season, so it's good to see some different stuff. We didn't play a spring scrimmage, so this is our first live contact against another opponent since the end of the season. So it's good to just kind of come out and see what we've been working on, see what works, and see what we need to kind of fix between now and the scrimmage game.
Right. Coach, and are y'all doing 2 or 1 scrimmage this fall?
We're doing 1 scrimmage game. We're playing Savannah Country today.
Okay, and that'll be on the 9th or?
The 8th. That's the Thursday.
8th. Okay,
yes,
you'll play on a Thursday there. Okay, good deal. Well, Coach, talk a little bit about your team for 2024. Talk about some of the starters you're going to be relying on coming back on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay, offensive side of the ball, we're relying on, Jaden Hurd, receiver, coming back, Ryan Golden, Carson Carter on the offensive line. We're actually be a little bit younger this year, but we got guys who we feel their time is right. Now, they'll be younger on the field, but not necessarily because, we're a young football team. They're on the field because they're good football players. And we feel like our offseason motto has kind of been take what we want, and we think we're ready for the season for sure.
Right. Well, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Who's some of the guys you're going to be relying on over there?
Defensive side of the ball, we rely on a couple interior defensive linemen we brought back, Carlos Cason, Christian Hines, and Anquan Roberts. Bring back 3 stars on the defensive line. Just relying on trying to get back to being a little bit more physical about what we want to do on that side of the ball.
And you guys stay in 3A, but your region changes a little bit. Talk about some of the new teams that's going to be coming into that region.
Yes, sir. We stay in the same region, but we lost Savannah Christian and Savannah Country today. And we added Islands High School, Windsor Forest, Jenkins, and Southeast Bullock.
Right. And so like I said, it should be a very competitive. You and Long County from the 912 area, all part of that region. So it should be a very competitive region. But, Coach, you guys continue to get better over the summer, and we'll catch up with you in the fall.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you coming out here today and supporting all the teams out here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Coach, we're over here at a paddock camp at McIntosh. It's been about a month since we saw you at a 7-on-7 at Frederica. Yep. Let's kind of talk about how you've structured things with your first season with the Herons. You had spring practice. You mentioned y'all focused a lot on run offense and run defense. That's right. Obviously, the 7-on-7 was geared on passing offense and passing defense. Yep. This is probably a little bit of everything other than special teams, right?
It is. We started out spring. We said we want to be heavy run. We want to establish a physicality on the offensive line, and we did that, I think. And then, we knew we had the summer to come out here and throw around and work on our time on the quarterbacks and new receivers. So we've done that. And this is a fantastic camp. I'm so thankful that Coach Warren put this on. I've been building it up and hyping it up, for the whole last month, that this was the most important camp of the summer for us to come out and show how we've improved. And I think we're demonstrating a little bit of it so far this morning.
Talk about that, Coach. I mean, this is maybe the last so-called test for everybody to see themselves before you get into preseason camp next week. Is that why you were kind of gearing towards
exactly.
this?
It's the last chance to really evaluate kids in a competitive situation against another team. So, I told them this is your opportunity if you want to win a job or solidify a backup role or whatever. This is the last chance to really get evaluated versus other competition. So it's really important for us.
Where do you feel you're at as a football team as you do get ready to go on your own field and kind of really get down to it? Not that y'all hadn't been serious all summer.
Well, it's hard to say. I've had a million people ask me what kind of team you're going to have this year, and it's really hard to say until you line up and play a football game. You hadn't really had officials since spring game, and so you really don't know. You hope you don't have a lot of penalties early in the season, but you're going to. I told the kids last night, it's a process, and that's sort of a cliche term now, but it is a process, and they got to stick it out and keep taking coaching, keep coming to work hard, and understand that we're going to hit road bumps. We're a new football team, new coaching staff. There's going to be road bumps, and we just got to keep plugging away.
Coach, be truthful with us. The GHSA calls it acclimation week next week. Yeah. If the kids aren't acclimated by now, they're behind. If the coaches aren't acclimated, they're behind. If we're not acclimated, we're behind. Exactly right. What really happens next week? I know you can't get into full paths, but is it a continuation of what you've already done?
It's more of the same, and they do that for, there's some teams that don't bring them in all summer, and they've got to have a mandatory amount of days to try to get them in shape before they go in pads. Most everybody, I would say 98% of all teams in the state of Georgia have done something all summer in helmets, and so it's a continuation of what you've been doing.
All right, Coach, keep up the good work, and we'll be playing real football here pretty soon.
Appreciate you. Go Herons.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
Well, Kevin, another OTA in the book here, probably the biggest one of the year that we've covered. Like I said, 13 schools here. I believe all but 2 or 3 of them were 912 schools, and just a great event here. So hats off to Coach Warren.
Yeah, a lot of our Southeast Georgia schools here. Of course, a couple of Savannah area schools here. Like he said, some teams brought some JV teams to kind of give them an even 16 number of teams. But a really good deal here. It comes at a good time in the summer where everybody's kind of wrapping up their summer programs, getting ready to go into preseason camp. And Sean, high school football, in essence, is really here. We've been all over it all summer. People have seen us. People have seen a lot of these same teams. We're showing them some new ones here today. But next week, they get into so-called preseason camp. It's mandatory at that point. We all know if you hadn't been doing anything, though, all summer, you're way behind if you're just getting to the practice field next week. But most of our teams obviously have been doing something all summer. And next week will just be a continuation of that, but we'll be in the scrimmages in early August, and we'll kick it off in mid-August.
Exactly, and we'll kick everything off on the 27th. That's Saturday, July 27th with our media day. It's going to be held at Ware County High School at the Performing Arts Center there on the campus. So come on out and be a part of that. We'll get all the coaches up there. They'll give us a little spiel on what they feel like is going to be their strengths, going into the 24 season. We got 2 defending state champions coming back with Coffee County staying in 5A, Pierce County staying in 2A, so they'll both be defending their titles. And a lot of people, we're just 1 year removed, and a lot of people would hopes and dreams of capturing a state title here in 24. But one of the things I took away from today, Kevin, like you said, it's football season because these guys were really, really intense today.
Yeah, I saw some of the coaches maybe a little more relaxed at other times this year, and not that they weren't, talking with each other and kind of joking around, but we saw the intensity go up with some of them, just much less with their players. So I think they're kind of starting to get everybody's attention, getting more down to details, getting a little more serious now. The fact that we're getting closer and closer to the real thing starting.
Yeah, and like I said, intense is a kind word because there's a couple of times that so teams had to be broken up. But again, that's all part of football. That stuff's going to bound to happen. So, but appreciate everybody watching. We'll be back next week right here with On Air with 912 Sports.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Calling us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
This has been a presentation of 912 Sports.